Don't know what you saying, I'm hoping they playing. My ink can be blacker than hair, still turn gold. I literally write what I'm saying. I'll put a mic in my hand just to feel like I'm super. They screaming, should put it a man.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's G RexTheGreat, aka your friendly neighborhood comic enthusiast, and we are here. Now, if you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome, and if you're not new, welcome back. We got an absolute banger right here. We're going to be going over DC's Knightfight issue number 1, which is a Batman-focused spinoff out of DC KO. Because if you're keeping up with the channel, you know that we definitely did a reaction to that whole DC KO issue number 1. And in normal DC fashion, they can't leave Batman out very long. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into this. It's written by Joshua Williamson, drawn by Dan Moore, my goat right now. So we're going to go ahead and jump straight into this. This first page, we got Gotham lit up by the bat signal here, and we have Batman, going from roof to roof and whatnot, moving around as he does, and he's going to be giving us a little monologue right here, Gotham, another fight, another crime type of situation, but he's like, this is what he trained for, telling us what his mission is, protect the city, typical Batman stuff. But one thing that's not as typical for Batman, he says, but my body's age betrays me. We typically don't get Batman talking about his body failing on him unless we're watching Batman Beyond. But we got the sound of my bones creaking is drowned out by the sirens Gotham's lullaby. Professor Pig and the Circus of Strange are back. Police chatter on the radio said they kidnapped a whole school bus full of kids, an audience for their twisted circus. I race as fast as I can to get there in time to save the hostages and take down Pig and his horrific followers. But I'm too late. And that's where we see the giant circus tent with the bus, and it's just on fire. And then that's what Batman simply says, I should have known my sons. There was a time when I was alone in Gotham, but that was a lifetime ago. Now my family patrols the streets with me. Watching them work, it's impossible not to see myself in each of them. Bruce talks about Dick Grayson. He says, the leader. For a while, I thought Dick would replace me, but he's built a role in life of his own. Leads countless heroes into bigger battles than I ever thought possible when I started. And I think that's very dope to see Batman, like, seeing what each of his sons became, now that their training is kind of complete, they're kind of free to become who they want to become as a hero type situation. So it's definitely good to see how he sees them in their, quote unquote, complete form almost. But we got him going to talk about Jason. He says, the rebel, the survivor. I worry about Jason's, his just thirst for violence. But then sometimes I envy him. He embraces anger in a way I never could. And then we got him talking about my goat Robin, the brains, the detective. Tim is always thinking, always planning. And then he talks about Damian. He says, the heart. Damian started as a killer, but has grown to be a healer. And you see him helping the kid back to the parent. And that's very good character development for Damian, too. That's like one of his best parts of his character for me. So then we move on. We got Dick Grayson, Damian, Jason, Tim. They're all there. They're kind of just talking and whatnot. Then they bounce off the roof together, going into action. And Bruce continues his monologue. He says, some nights I watch them and wonder, if they're here, does Gotham still need me? And that's where we get the little intro card right there. Knightfight. The future is gone. Earth will be apocalypse. Darkseid will win. Unless one member of the Justice League can possess the energy to become a god like Darkseid, to become the King Omega. That is humanity's only chance at survival. But to accomplish this, the League must enter a deadly tournament controlled by the Heart of Apocalypse. Friends against friends. Allies against allies. No mercy. Batman runs alongside the Justice League into battle as the tournament begins. And as we know, Batman got stabbed up by the Joker with a harpoon gun, and Batman had to quote unquote die in the arms of Superman. I thought that was an absolute banger moment. Caught me by surprise. I wasn't ready for it. So that was nice. And then we get to see basically what happened after that right now. So we see what we saw in DC's KO, where they all turn to stone after, they get eliminated within the tournament thing. So they're not dying fully. They're just getting turned to stone. But Batman being Batman, as you know, he had a way to get out of this. So Batman pulled up with apocalyptic tech armor. Yes, this man pulled up with a mother box bat symbol on his chest, which is crazy. So Batman turns to stone, and then you start hearing ping, 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 and that's when it shatters, and we get the activation of the mother box, and Batman pops out the other side. You know, like that ping, ping. That's like the typical mother box type of sound type of thing. So, but we get Batman popping out into like this, what looks like Gotham for the most part, but it looks a little more like futuristic type of thing. So we get Batman popping out, and he's like, oh, snap, it worked. Like, even Batman won't think it out was going to work, but it worked out for him, you know. He said the Justice League was allowed to prepare, to bring tools, weapons, to help us in the tournament. I secretly bought apocalyptic armor outfitted with a special boom tube that would teleport me back home if I became inactive for too long. That way, I wouldn't be out of the fight if I lost a round. Now, see, now Batman said it was supposed to bring him home, but as we're going to soon find out, this is not the home that he thinks, because right away, Batman notices something off, and that's what he says, but this is not the Gotham I left behind. How long was I trapped? Did we win and make Gotham this? So he tries to call the Watchtower, which is definitely what you would try to do. Try to get to Mr. Terrific, because, you know, he was one of the ones orchestrating the safety of the civilians and whatnot while they're all going for the tournament. And that's when Batman gets immediately hit with the Robin ring. A Robin ring sounds crazy. But he gets hit with the Robin ring, and that's when we get 4 Robins right here, 4 random Robins. A black Robin with a taper fade, you know what I'm saying? We got somebody that looks like Oliver Queen with a giant Buster sword. Like this is dope. These designs are dope. These designs are dope. So then we got Robins, but none that I know. And then that's when they say the bat who fell? Question mark? Take him down. And then that's when we get the red hair Robin with the mask. I love like that red mask, green eyes look. That's just dope. But he starts shooting Robin rings out of a gun. Starts shooting Robin rings at him. Batman's dodging, you know, doing his thing. And as he says, I'm calling it in. This is Robin 52. We have an illegal Batman sighting. We need backup. So as we know from this panel, there's at least bare minimum 52 Robins in this world right here. And that's when Bruce goes back to his model. He says, they're well trained, but not by me. I recognize their style, the swarm pattern, the speed and aerodynamics of the attacks. They didn't sneak up on me. They have a flair for dramatics instead. And I suspect I know who taught them. And you already know who that's going to be. Dick Grayson. But he continues to say, just like I know they are not trying to put me down, they are leading me somewhere. I want answers, so I let them. I know the rooftops of Gotham better than anyone. I've run across them countless times, but something here is off, and I can't figure out what yet. At least my suspicion of who trained them is correct, and that's when Batman is greeted by Batman. I warned you, Bruce, if you returned, it would be war. And that's when we get this other Batman, who is definitely Dick Grayson. This is Dick Grayson as Batman. This is fire. I love this suit. This suit is dope. This suit is dope. Dick Grayson as Batman is fire. I love this suit. But we got the Batman saying Dick, and Dick Grayson's like, oh, so you remember me? Good. How long ago did we defeat Darkseid? Who won the tournament? And that's when Dick Grayson's like, Darkseid tournament? What are you talking about? Like you know what you did, but we don't know what he did. We don't know what he did yet. So we definitely got to figure that out through the course of the series. But well, we know what he did with his body because they're about to tell us. But he allegedly did some more things that we need to learn about. So we get basically what Dick Grayson's telling us that he did recently, where he put himself in a Lazarus pit. Basically just became freaking Ra's al Ghul. Basically just became Ra's al Ghul for whatever reason. But basically Nightwing is just telling him here that, well, he's not Nightwing, he's Batman. Batwing here is basically telling them that, you know, you were being selfish, you know, you didn't want to give up your mantle of Batman, you know, like we tried to help you, but you basically pushed us all away and you couldn't accept someone else taking up your mantle. So you put yourself in a Lazarus pit and you pushed yourself further than you needed to. And it basically drove him crazy is what he's saying. And basically saying it pushed away all of the Robins and even Catwoman, and that's what messes up Batman, because If you want to mess up his head, tell him he pushed away his bit. Tell him he pushed away his shorty, you feel me? So Batman's like, my shorty? My girl? But Dick Grayson's basically like, look, man, whatever Darkseid tournament you talking about, bro, it's all in your head. Like, you're clearly just tripping from the Lazarus pit. But as we know, this isn't their Batman. This is our Batman that literally just came from the Darkseid tournament. So, and then that's when basically it's like, Dick Grayson's like, look, let me tell you what's been going on while you was gone. You know what I'm saying? We got the Bat Tower. And I'm not going to lie, this is a dope idea. The Bat Tower is a dope idea. And basically he goes on a stint, basically telling them everything that he's been doing in Batman's absence, you know? It's like he created a support system that grew outside of Gotham in a way that you never could. And we can see Cyborg helping kids and Starfire, basically like the members of the Titans. They're like spread around different places and everything. And he says he made Robin Inc. It has Robins in every major city in the world, run by Barbara Gordon, Cassandra Cain, Duke Thomas, Stephanie Brown, and their numbers are growing every day. As we saw from the guy, there's at least 52. Then we got Raven teaching magic manipulation to the Robins and everything. The world is far from safe, is what he says. But your mission continues, is what he says to Bruce, because basically Dick Grayson is picking up where Bruce left off, basically, right before he went crazy and decided to Ra's al Ghul himself, you know. But that's what we just get, them kind of just talking here back and forth and everything. You were always too much of a control freak, Bruce. You didn't like to share. So I did what you couldn't. I trusted others. And that's another like trait of Nightwing that everybody loves, where he's like the compassionate side of Bruce, you know. And then that's when he finally lets the cow down. He's like, look, this is why I kept saying you could stop. You could retire. Let your legacy continue with me. And then Bruce is like, this is not you. And Dick's like, not me? Do you even know yourself anymore, Bruce? And then Bruce is like, this is not what I wanted for you, though. I didn't want you to be Batman. I just wanted you to be better than me. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, I didn't want you to continue to burden. I wanted you to have your own life. You created your own identity, and I wanted you to keep that. You didn't have to be Batman. You're Nightwing. And he wanted that for you. But Dick's like, that's a lie. You didn't want us to take the burden from you because you refused to give up being Batman. Because you know without it, you're nothing. And then Bruce even says, maybe that's true. But I have to ask, you've built all this, and yet you still have Robins. Would you let any of them become Batman? And that's where Dick gets stopped. He's like, oh, well, when you put it that way, actually. And then Batman like, this isn't right. And I need to find out why. But he's basically talking about like, bro, like, why am I here? Type shit. But Dick is taking it like, nah. I know that look. Don't do it. You're not going to escape again. I'm giving you one chance. Stand down. And that's when Bruce locks in and gets ready. He said, did you forget who trained you? And then that's when Nightwing says, I've beaten you before, old man. And we get a crazy panel spread of this fight. Holy cow. This was crazy. I'm not going to lie. I am not going to lie to you. This fight. This is why we love Dan Mora. I just want you to know that. This is why early in the video when we first started, I told you that is my GOAT right now. Dan Mora is off the charts when it comes to the art. This is beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. This is beautiful. The paneling, how they're spread apart, the drawing itself, the action. I can feel the punches. I can feel the movement. Like, this is pristine comic artwork right here. Take it outside of comics. This is pristine artwork right here. I would put this on my wall. I would put this on my wall. This is amazing artwork. But back to the story. Dick Grayson is like, I've beaten you before, old man. I'll do it again. You get that nice split panel between them of Batman and Dick Grayson, and they're throwing hands. They're going at it, you know. And he's like, I never want to fight my family, ever. Even now, I'm in awe of him, how he moves. I always focus on fighting fast and hard. It takes thought behind every move, calculation. But he is fluid, graceful. Muscle memory makes his move effortless. Dick was born for this. Pause. Pause. But I mean, he's right though. Like, Dick Grayson is acrobat. Like, he moves gracefully. Like, you know, like Batman is trying to clean your clock. You know what I'm saying? Dick Grayson gonna put on a show while he do it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's just like, wow, like, this just looks amazing, you know what I'm saying? Then eventually they're going back and forth and everything. Eventually Batman gets hit with one of Nightwing's like stick things, whatever. What are they called? the Christmas stick. I don't know, whatever they're called. He gets hit with one of the little lightning poles. And then that's when Nightwing hits him with the craziest line ever. I'm a better Batman than you because I trust people. I don't lead with fear. You know what I'm saying? That's what Bruce is like. I held back. I ain't want to hurt. You know what I'm saying? I kept it tucked in the jacket. I ain't want to put him down like that. Not in his world, you know. Tried to be easy on him. But that's what Dick continues. He's like, listen to me. Really listen, or I'll throw you in Arkham and lose the key. This is the end, Bruce. You're not Batman anymore. And that's when Bruce is like, shit, maybe Dick is right. Pause. My time is up. I'm too blind to see it's his turn. He did something I couldn't. And then that's when, so you stick at Nightwing talking. He said, you did it. Gotham doesn't need you. You can stop obsessing now. Trying to get Bruce to let it go. And that's what Bruce is like, the mother box in my armor, I'm still receiving a signal from the heart of Apocalypse. So he's like, bro, whatever is going on with my real universe timeline, I need to figure it out. And then that's when they get like a little hand that, they get into like another little scuffle here. They're going back and forth. And it looks amazing in the rain where we're looking at the silhouettes. Like, come on. Like, the art, bro. People not hearing me when I'm telling you Dan Mora. It's one of the goats, bro. I'm telling you. He's my personal ghost, but I'm not going to say he's the objective goat. But he's one of the goats right now as far as comic book art. I'm not going to lie to you. Let me know who your favorite artist for comic books is down below for sure. But right now, it's Dan Moore for me. I'm not even going to hold you. So we get this little scuffle here, and that's where we get the bombshell that I was talking about earlier in the video. It says, if you're Batman, where's Jason, Tim, and Damian? Where are your brothers? And that's what Dick Grayson says. Don't you remember? You let your fear of us replacing you drive you insane long before you went into Lazarus Pit. You said there can only be one Batman. There can only be you. They're not here because you killed them. In your anger, you killed them, Lord Vader. No, this is crazy. This is crazy. The next issue is called Batman vs. Batman to the Death. They're saying that the Batman of this universe killed Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and Damian. I had blinked on the last one. I was like, and he said he killed his own son. Nah, this is crazy. And then we get a preview for the Batman and Static Beyond #1 that just came out. We might end up covering that. I haven't read it yet, but if I do decide to read that, we might end up covering it here on the channel. But that's the whole issue for Batman Nightfight #1, man. I mean, this was an absolute banger of a chapter of an issue. Like this was great. The artwork was amazing. I'm loving the story. I'm glad to see what happened to Batman following DCKO, to see that he had the mother box technology on his chest and everything. And once he got stoned up, pause. This is a wild video. But once he got put into stone, the mother box technology activated, teleported him, was supposed to be back home, but sent him to this alternate world. I mean, this is crazy. Dick Grayson as Batman looks awesome. As we know from some of the teaser preview stuff that we had for this right here, we're going to see Tim Drake as Batman. We're also going to see Damian Wayne as Batman, and we're also going to see Red Hood as Batman. So allegedly they're dead. Maybe they got Lazarus pitted. Maybe they'll come back that way, but who knows? Maybe they're not dead at all, honestly. So we'll have to find out more as we get more issues of the DC Knightfight. So issue #2, we will be covering it here on the channel to find out what's going on. But I greatly enjoyed this read. Dick Grayson as Batman looks amazing. I'm loving the concept. I love the dynamic that Dick has between his personal Batman, and he's projecting that onto our Batman. I mean, this is great. I'm loving it so far. Joshua Williamson is a great writer, so I believe it's going to be a great story. Dan Moore is my goat for the art, so I know it's going to be great art all the way through. And yeah, that's all I got for you there. So thank you for popping out. If you decided to stop through and enjoy this comic book with me, drop a like if you enjoyed what you saw, what you heard. Leave a comment down below. That's always the most important part. I love to have engaging conversations, especially those surrounding comic books and stuff like that. Another thing, drop a sub if you want to become one of the greats, man. We just hit our sub goal of 200, and now we're on the road to 300, and we're getting there, man. But like I said, that's all I got for you. So y'all definitely be safe out there in the internet land, man. Spread peace, love, positivity, kindness, all of those good things like that. One more thing. we're thinking about doing gaming again on the channel. We might play Dispatch. Just letting that know, it might be out there. We might play Dispatch. But yeah, so that's definitely all I got for you there, man. Like I said, be safe out there. Thank you for popping through. If you did, much love. Definitely appreciate it a lot. Be safe out there in the internet land, and I'll catch y'all next time. Shout out DC for this Batman book, bro. This shit was fire as hell. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Y'all peace out.